Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, March 20th, and last week the last 2 weeks, I was in a reading slump, and technically I am still in a reading slump, but I'm gonna try to get out of it this week because 2 weeks ago I read I feel like it was less than 300 pages, and last week I read 400, and that is not what I want to be doing. So this week we are gonna try to get out of the reading slump. And the book that I was supposed to read last week, and I didn't even read one single word of it, was The Fires of Vengeance. And it's not like I didn't start it because I'm not excited for it. Like, I am, because this is the second book in the Burning series. And I really like the first one. So I want to read it, but I don't know. I just can't. I physically cannot. And I could have forced myself to read it, but then, I wouldn't have enjoyed it because I was forcing myself, So I'm going to try to read it this week. And then I think I might continue on with the Mortal Instrument series. I am going into book 4, which is called City of, I want to say Fallen Angels, but I could be wrong. And then I don't know what else. I have literally no plans because, like I said, I'm in a slump. I don't even know if I'm gonna read, how much I'm gonna read. I'm just gonna try to read anything. So whatever I feel like reading, I'm just gonna be like, I'm going for it. So there is that. I am also gonna probably watch the second season of Shadow and Bone, which came out last week, but I'm just in a general slump. I really don't want to do anything, so I didn't even watch the show, but I am probably gonna do that this week as well. Honestly, I don't really have plans, but yeah, that's it. That is what I wanted to say in this intro, and just welcome to the vlog. I have been meaning to film this update for a while because at first I meant to film it on Wednesday and then I didn't. And then I meant to film it on Thursday and I didn't. And then on Friday, and it's now Saturday night, by the way. And we're here now, but at least I have read 2 books. And first, actually not first, this was the second one, but I read The Fires of Vengeance. And I think I said that this is the second book in the Burning series. And basically, this is a fantasy series, and we are following a boy named Tao. And since book 1, we are following basically his path of revenge of people who, I don't know if this is a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it, but basically people who kind of destroyed his life in a way. And so we have been following him on his path of revenge. And his main goal, and this was still in book 1, was to be part of the army because that was his first step in his revenge plan. And in this second one, we learned a lot about the world because the people that he belongs to, the women, some of them are gifted. They have different kinds of powers, and they are connected to Easy Hogo, which is like the underworld where there are demons. And so we see how that came to be and like how the underworld kind of works with their powers. And also in this book we learn something interesting, because in this society there are two main groups who are the nobles and the lessers, and we learn something very interesting about how those groups were formed basically, and I did not see that coming. And so we got a lot of world building, and there are a lot of fight scenes in this series, and I mean they're all amazing, and I do love fight scenes. And so yeah, this is very intense, it is very heartbreaking, and I mean I love it, it's incredible, and I gave this book 5 stars. And I mean I love the main character as well, and I mean it all started with his revenge plan, but it has now become something much bigger, that is like basically a fight for their, like the whole of their people, like their survival. And yeah, I mean I am absolutely loving this, and I am so sad that the 3rd book is not out yet, and it doesn't even have a release date yet. And yeah, that is really sad, because I need to know what is gonna happen next, because like the way it ended like knowing that there is something really bad coming for them. And yeah, like the anticipation is killing me. But yeah, this was actually the 2nd book I finished, and the 1st book I finished was Nana, and that is a horror book. And I am not gonna be saying everything that happened, like everything that they say in the synopsis, because I did read the synopsis, and so by reading the synopsis it kind of destroyed the experience for me. Like it was obvious what was happening basically, and since like what was happening was obvious from the synopsis, I just expected an explanation, and spoiler alert, I didn't really get it. But basically we are following a woman called, I don't even remember her name, I want to say Monica, but I might be wrong. And she, like the book starts with her, she calls her grandma, but she wasn't really her grandmother, she was just the woman who raised her after her mother left her, like at that woman's house. So it's her grandma's funeral, and that's actually when she meets her birth mother, because she appears there, and she never knew really much about her mother. Like her grandma didn't ever tell her much, like she told her some basic stuff, but she never told her anything. But yeah, they meet at the funeral, and she decides to just spend some time at her daughter's house, and then she ends up like just like staying there, and some weird things start happening, and Monica's husband does not like his mother-in-law, and she does not like him, and like he doesn't trust her, but everyone else seems to be like super obsessed with her. And like I said, weird things start happening, especially to Monica. She is just not feeling great since her mother has moved there. And like I said, in the synopsis it says like exactly how she's not feeling well, like what is happening. And so I was just expecting an explanation as to like how that is happening, like, or what exactly her mother is, because it's obvious that she's not like just human. So, you know, I was expecting more of an explanation, but that never really, like I never really got it. So I was just like, okay. But I mean, it did have some creepy scenes. Like the descriptions of some of the things that were happening were really fucking creepy, which I did really like. And I mean, I like the story was fun. I just did not have like the satisfaction of knowing exactly how or why that was happening. And so I gave that one 3 stars. And that is what I have read. I mean, I have started a nonfiction book that is all the way over there. Okay, I'm gonna get it. It's The Poisoner's Handbook, Murder and the Birth of Forensic Medicine in Jazz Age, New York. And this book was actually gifted to me at the end of my traineeship. Like some of my colleagues gave it to me. And like I said, it's nonfiction and it's kind of history and true crime, I suppose. And here in the back it says, a fascinating jazz-age tale of chemistry and detection, poison and murder. The Poisoner's Handbook is a page-turning account of a forgotten era. In early 20th century New York, poisons offered an easy path to the perfect crime. Science had no place in the Tammany Hall-controlled coroner's office, and corruption ran rampant. However, with the appointment of Chief Medical Examiner Charles Norris in 1918, the poison game changed forever. Together with toxicologist Alexander Gettler, the duo set the justice system on fire, with a trailblazing scientific detective work, triumphing over seemingly unbeatable odds to become the pioneers of forensic chemistry and the gatekeepers of justice. And yeah, this just sounds like right up my alley because I am a forensic scientist. So yeah, I mean, I've only read the prologue so far, so I don't really have any thoughts yet. And I want to start reading this monster of a book. And this is really not the right week for me to do this because I have so much to work on. So this is really not the time for me to read how long is this? 846 page book. This is really not the time, but I really want to start reading it, so I just might. And what else have I done? I watched half of the second season of Shadow and Bone, and I mean, just like in season 1 and just like in the books, I care much more. I mean, not much more. I only care about what the crows are doing. I really don't care about the Shadow and Bone book series plot. That was a weird sentence. I don't really care about them. And I mean, Nikolai was the only character I liked in those books. And, so I expected that when he showed up, I would be more invested. But I mean, I'm not really. I don't really care. I just like the crows. And I mean, I love them. They're amazing. Jasper is definitely my favorite. He is iconic. And Wylan, he's so fucking precious. I want to squeeze him. That is how precious he is. And Inej and Nina are icons as well. And obviously so is Cass. And I mean, Matthias, I never really cared about him that much in the books. And I also don't really care about him in the show, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. I'm having fun. I still have half of the season to watch. I don't think I have anything more to update on. I haven't really done much update-worthy stuff. I have just been working on my PhD application basically, and that is not fun for you to hear about, So yeah, that is it. And like I said, it's Saturday night, so definitely much later than when I wanted to update, but here we are. And I will probably not read that much tonight and tomorrow because I do need to finish working on my application stuff. And yeah, that is what is going on. But either way, if I do start this or read something else, I will let you know on Monday. Hello, so it is Monday again, and that means this is the end of this weekly reading vlog. And I did not start A Day of Fallen Night because I had a lot of things to do because my deadline is in 2 days, so kind of stressed. So the only thing I read yesterday was 2 chapters of the Poisoner's Handbook. But I feel like this week I read as much as I could because I had a lot of things to do. So I read as much as I could. So I would say, I think that I have gotten over my reading slump. Fingers crossed. but like I think I have, because I want to read. I'm just not reading because I literally cannot read. But yeah, that was the only thing I read since my other updates. And actually, I mean, it's a lie that I read every time I could, because the other free time I had, I finished watching Shadow and Bone. So I mean, I guess that was a lie. So yeah, I finished watching Shadow and Bone, and actually these last four episodes I liked way more than the first four, and especially episode 7 was iconic. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I definitely liked the second season more than the first, and yeah, it was a fun time. But yeah, that is pretty much what has happened. The rest has just been like boring work things. So yeah, nothing interesting to share. So let's just wrap up everything that I did read this week. So I read Nana, which was 291 pages. Then I read The Fires of Vengeance, which was 548 pages. And this book was definitely the one that contributed the most to getting through my reading slump. So thank you. You were amazing. And then I read 49 pages of The Poisoner's Handbook, and that gives me a total of 888 pages. And so, I mean, I am actually definitely happy with that, especially like coming out of a reading slump, and because this was like a busy week. So, yeah, definitely happy with that. And this is the end of this weekly reading vlog, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!